Oh, are we starting the show now? Oh, it's just a couple of bitches sucking big on a biggie ball.
Happy Halloween from us and our pumpkin biggie ball.
Woman owned, didn't you know?
I said that on my other podcast the other day. I went, women owned.
Woman owned.
About
Everybody's got to know
big buzz balls.
how great the buzz balls are. And I will say I have started the emailing process trying to get us
sponsored.
Buzz balls.
Listen, welcome to Who's the Bitch? Or today, Who's the Witch?
Yes. Uh-oh, spooky.
It's so spooky. And look, I wore close up on these little earrings here, baby.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got skelly bones.
Scary skeletons.
We've
and
got
shivers
skelly
down
bones,
your
skelly
spine.
bones, skelly bones.
Spooky, scary skeletons. And the sun, dun, dun, dun. My kids
The
love that
corpse
song.
is the bitch.
My kids love any dubstep Halloween songs.
Oh, no.
You know how like
God.
spooky, scary skeletons like have a beat drop where it's like yeah, they like love that shit.
I understand. I just went to Not Scary Farm over the weekend, and man, I guess if there was someone being a bitch in this situation, it was me.
What were you doing? Screaming, you're being a little baby bitch.
I was being a
little baby, a little damsel in distress bitch.
But are you being the bitch? Hit us up, bit.ly/LPN hotline. Hit us up live, guys.
Call us,
We want
babies.
to hear from you. And if you've already written in and you want to give us a follow-up, we're always willing to take follow-ups, please. Thank you guys for joining us on this live episode.
And I just want to call out that I forgot the flip-flops I usually wear, so I am barefoot. I'm trying to highlight my wiki feet. So here,
Yes,
no, why?
yes,
Why?
yes,
No.
give it.
I did not consent to that. I did not consent to that foot close up.
Let me see them feet.
Jesus.
This is how you get a side business. We know that Lily Allen
OnlyFans, mom feet.
Yes. Mom feet, you know, those are working feet.
These are working
They're
feet.
not like me, my roustabout
Trying to
feet.
cover it up.
You
and
don't
do
need
a
to
little...
cover it up. Let them be free.
And you are, you're a little, got a sexy little outfit on underneath your caftan because you got a date after this.
Yes, I certainly do.
Usually this is our last stop of the night, just a couple aunts out on the veranda, but not this little slut.
Look at that. That's how you know she's a slut underneath. It's just because I've got fun tights.
Yeah, fun tights, bitch. Fun tights.
Yes. Oh my God. Rains or who's the bitch, me or my back that gave out on me this weekend? Your back is definitely the bitch in this scenario, and I'm so sorry. Red Age, yes. Jackie, please, respectfully. Sometimes you got to show a little bit of upper thigh. You know, really get them all crusting for it. Are you crusting for it? Please let me know. bit.ly/LPN hotline, everybody. We can't wait to hear from you. Now, I know that we were going to start off. Ooh, yes.
Wait, Chad is chanting in all caps to see the feet? You showed it already.
Oh my God, let's just see him one more
guys,
time. Come
no.
on, let's just see him one more time.
These weird feet. You know, I have my pinky toes are like flat on the insides, but yeah, that's them.
Oh my God.
There's a foot.
You
There's
got
a
good
foot.
feet.
They're okay. They're
Love
okay.
this. Blanca the Ferris says, has anyone else been binging Kara's Law and Order podcast? Check up. That's messed up.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's messed up. SVU podcast. Check it out because Kara Klenk is a woman of many words.
I'm out here. I'm giving advice. I'm talking about sex crimes. I'll do whatever. I'll do anything.
God. I'm scared of you. I'm definitely not scared of taking our first call. We're gonna jump right in.
Yes, let's
'cause
get right in. We've got a
somebody on the
call.
line. Let's hear from ya.
Beep 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 beep.
Ooh, sexy calling.
Oh, hello.
Hey, how are ya, babe?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Awesome, and I cannot wait to hear about who the bitch is in your life because I'll beat him up, Dottie, if you want me to.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the person I'm going to talk about could handle being beat up by you because they are quite old.
Okay.
Good, I like them old.
We like a geriatric bitch. Yeah.
You know, they fall in and they can't get up, and I am thankful for it. So, Dottie, tell us a little bit about your situation.
I mean, and I will just also address briefly that Kayla's talking about asking if it's my dad. My dad is usually the bitch, not the bitch this time. This time, I'm calling about my grandmother, actually.
Uh-oh.
Because I was last weekend. I was at their house, and the whole thing is that like I had set it up because I was having like the movie I'm in premiered last weekend.
Congratulations!
And it was
What's
in
the
the
name
town
of the
they live
movie?
in. Thank you. It's called Leatherbound. We're actually watching it on my stream next Saturday if anybody wants to pop over and check it out.
Hello, Dottie Champagne, everybody.
Yeah. But anyway, I was in town for that. And so because it's just far enough away, it's like 3 hours away.
Ugh.
It's just far enough that I don't go all the time. And so my mom was coming down from where she lives to come visit, and my brother lives there with my grandparents. So he was going to like hang out for a bit. But then my grandparents decided like to not come home. They're staying at like a trailer they live at during the summertime. So anyway, so they weren't there. So I didn't get to see them, which I thought was a little weird because usually they rush back anytime I come to visit. Not that like they're obligated to or anything.
No, but what the
it's
hell
just
else
like
are they doing? They
like,
should
"Why are you
show up
coming
when
to
the
see us?"
grandchild shows up.
Yeah, sorry, but they didn't. And because they weren't there, it kind of means that like we can't really leave the house because when we have the dog with us, somebody has to be watching her at all times. And with the number of people that were there and the different family things going on, it was sort of like someone has to stay back and miss out on something every time. Whereas when my grandparents are home, they just sit in their house. They don't like to go anywhere, if that makes sense.
That's grandparents for
So
you.
like, yeah. And there was one big event. It was my uncle's birthday dinner. It was like everybody has to go to that because it's his birthday. Like we don't want to be the bitch in that situation.
Yeah.
And so we did have to like come up with a plan for how to leave this dog that has terrible separation anxiety alone in their house. And so like we set everything up so that like she'd be in the basement, which is like the sort of rattiest, dirtiest part of their house. And like it's got the oldest carpet in the world. So if it's stained, it's really not that big of a deal.
Makes sense.
And we tried to like block her all off. Right. But anyway, by the time we got back, like my brother got back before us and he's flipping shit because he's always flipping shit. And he was like, you better get the carpet cleaner out. You got to go clean up down there because she made a mess and it's all stained because of your dog. And I'm like, that carpet is older than both of us combined. Like it was, that carpet was there when my dad was a child.
Oh, God.
So like it's stained to shit and it's not because of my 10-year-old Chihuahua. I'm sorry.
How much could possibly come out of a tiny dog?
Little teaspoons of piddles out of a chihuahua.
It was not that big of a deal. We cleaned it up. Like there was no way we needed that carpet cleaner out, but I got it just to like deal with him so he wouldn't freak out for the rest of the weekend. And in fact, while I was there, I spent like the whole day the next day because I had a free time in the afternoon cleaning like my grandmother's terribly dirty bedroom just because like they're elderly. They can't get up high and clean stuff and scrub stuff. Like I was, cleaning their home for them.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call when we're on our way home from her. This is where the real like bitch thing comes in. I get a phone call from her because they get back like just like an hour after we've left or something. Like they basically like avoided us entirely. And then I get a phone call from her that says like, look, I'm really unhappy with you because you let your dog in my basement and she was supposed to be in the kitchen, as though I'm supposed to know of this rule that I've never heard before. That she's supposed to stay in the kitchen.
Oh, no.
Which, by the way, in the kitchen, she would have access to the living room, which is the only room that my grandmother super would care about. Like, she doesn't let her on any of the furniture in there when we're visiting. She's barely allowed in that room. Like, and she definitely would have gotten in there from the kitchen. There's just no way. We were keeping her out of that
But
space.
she
So, like, I tried my
this
best.
after you've left?
Oh, she called me after we left while I'm on a bus. Like, I'm in transit, in public, like, getting this phone call.
Grandma's mad.
Grandma's pissed. So yeah, but she tried to like be kind of like, look, I'm just disappointed, right? Which whatever. So anyway, I just said to her, look, I'm sorry. We cleaned everything up, so I'm not sure like what the issue is. Did my brother say something? Like what's going on? Like what happened so that maybe we can like prepare better in the future? And she's like, well, like I found something under a chair, which I know she did not. Like, she's definitely lying about that because we checked that whole basement. There's
Where's the
zero
receipts,
chance.
Grandma? We want
Absolutely
receipts.
zero chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you did not find anything under a chair. You're saying that probably because my brother said something to you about how mad he was.
Ugh.
And now you're just calling me to be angry.
Grandma's
So
stirring some shit
so
up.
I felt bad
man.
because she's a very old woman. I don't like making my grandma upset. But she then proceeds. So like, I'm kind of mad because that's a bitchy call. She then called me the next day while I'm at work crying, saying like, I shouldn't be so bitchy. I'm sorry. And I'm like,
That's a
well, okay,
manipulative
Grandma, it's
tactic.
okay. I'm at work right now. I can't. Oh yeah. I was like, I can't really talk to you about this right now, but that's okay. And then I just sort of was like, well, I forgive you and goodbye. And that was the end of the conversation. So, I mean, my brother is absolutely a bitch in this situation, but I want to know, like, am I like a real hardship on my grandma, or is she just being
I guess
like difficult? Like, I don't know what to do about this.
I will say, it's one thing that I do know about you is that Mimi, you've had Mimi for quite some time, the dog.
You have so much background. Go on
I
it.
do know, and I know, and I also love Mimi. Now, your grandmother knew that you were coming with Mimi, right?
Yes.
But she didn't
100%
say
knew. Yeah.
what the rules of her house were. That like that the dog shouldn't be in the basement.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like that
Has
was.
never been the rule. Like,
Yeah.
And so your
in all the
brother-
years we've had this dog and brought her over,
did your brother rat you out then?
100% he did. Absolutely. Like, either way, he said something.
I mean, Chad is already saying it. I think your brother is definitely the bitch in this scenario.
Yeah.
I would say he's the fucking bitch here because that's not okay. He is the bitch. I dare say it.
Brother's
He's
the bitch. Brother
Brother's being
bitch.
a brother bitch, and sometimes brothers
Yep.
be bitches.
Listen, your grandma, I think we talked about this like our last live stream. Like old people they do be mixing it up and trying to start shit, right?
they got
Grandparents,
nothing else
they
going
got
on.
nothing else going on. They're trying to start stuff. So she called you to test out the waters of starting some shit and then felt guilty about it, and the next day was like, I'm sorry. I do feel like it could be manipulative, but she also could have just been like, she just got off the phone with your brother, he gassed her up, and then she called you, and then she realized she was wrong. So I kind of give it to your grandma for apologizing, because it is hard to teach old dogs new tricks, especially old grandparents. You cannot get an apology out of my dad, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. I mean, I love this. Skunk Baby even said, Grandma's being a regular amount of grandma bitchy. Because I
Yeah.
feel like when you hit a certain age, which is something I'm excited about getting older, that you can fairly be more bitchy than you can get away with when you're younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're right, Skunk Baby. I think your grandmother is being the right amount of, because grandmothers also sometimes, and I'm saying this for parents as well, they'll all of a sudden be like, I've had this rule since ought to. And you're like, what are you talking about? What rule? What did you just made this up all of a sudden.
And I have a question. Someone in the chat is saying that your brother lives with your grandma. Is that what you said? Did you say that and I missed it?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
That's
he lives in the house with my
interesting.
grandparents.
That's very interesting to me, because that to me sounds like your brother might be coming from a place of like, well, I know how this house works because I live here, and I know how grandma's going to react to this because I live here, and that's why he kind of,
I will say,
was like,
I
remember
did
the
live there
kitchen
for a
rule,
while,
grandma?
too.
You know,
Like,
say it again.
Yeah. Oh, like I lived there for a while too, and that was not the rule when I lived there either. Like,
Right.
so it's just like this new rule. But
And
yeah,
somebody pointed
but
out, then
he
why
also,
isn't he
and this is a
cleaning?
detail I didn't provide.
Why isn't he getting up to those high spots that you spent all day
See,
cleaning?
I agree, and I say this every time we go there. I'm like, if you can't clean the house for them because they're old, then you need to hire somebody to clean, because he makes a fair bit of money. He just lives there because it's convenient for him, and he's kind of taking care of them a little bit.
Sure.
That's a whole other thing.
Okay.
But anyway, right? I'm like, you should really be doing a little bit more to take care of them if you're going to live here for free. Like, they won't let him pay rent.
Now, Rugged Tub is not asking this question,
which
but
is
I will
ridiculous.
pose it into a question. Is he scared of your grandmother?
No, grandma's not scary.
Nah,
She's
he's
just
a rat.
You're
Brother
you're
bitch.
scared of making her upset because he's rat.
Rat.
But yeah,
Rat
really,
eats
it was
cheese.
like, he had paid somebody recently to clean the house, and all they did was vacuum. So that's why we were still scrubbing the house when I came down to visit. And I'm like, you can be mad about like stuff that you paid somebody to clean, I guess, but don't be like, I keep this house so tidy. Like, bro, there were
little
like
chihuahua?
ants and stuff, like dead ants on the
Ridiculous.
floor.
Ty Hub says, sounds like he put a bug
Yeah,
in
it's
Grandma's
not
ear
dirty
for
because of my
something
dog.
he's actually mad about, not her. And I do wonder that I feel like sometimes when you want to like get it all, like, and I'm saying this as the younger sibling who mayhaps have done this possibly in the past, rat sister. I've been maybe a rat sister a time or two. And there have been times when I've been like, I am the model child. Oh, isn't it horrible what Henry does? Isn't that just terrible that he would ever do that to you, mother? And I do play that game sometimes. And I will say, that's me being the bitch in this scenario.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And I do think that maybe you should, I don't know if you'd want to talk to your brother a little bit about it, of like hey, bro, do we have to be enemies in this? Can we be partners in this together?
And leave my little chihuahua out of it.
Oh,
Jeez, la
I
freaking
could try.
wheeze.
He also accused me of. Oh, like, leave the dog alone, the poor baby. He also accused me of stealing his toothpaste after I left. So, like, this boy is hopeless.
like I was gonna say, like, this could be the kind of thing where like he feels like he's responsible for taking care of the grandparents, and like you come from hours away and like get to bring your dog and just do whatever. But it's like, it sounds like he's not even doing that much. So fuck off. I don't know. Your brother's pissing me off.
But, bro, like,
If he is living there rent free and he
he's a
makes good
man-child
money, he should be
minister, like,
paying
his
for
girlfriend-
a weekly
He
housekeeper.
should be paying something. He should be
Just
adding
pay for a
something to the
housekeeper
house.
once a week.
Absolutely,
That's
he
like
should be. I agree.
$150.
His girlfriend brings her cats to the house and like stays there overnight. When
Are they
I was
in the kitchen?
dating my now husband, then boyfriend,
throwing
and
up.
people know that, they're all over the house when I'm there. When my grandparents are there, my grandma's afraid of cats.
I didn't think
But
cats
when
were
my
really
boyfriend
like a
just happened to be
traveling kind
over,
of
my
pet.
grandpa threatened to break his leg.
No, leave
Like,
him.
you know, it's wild. No, cats are not a traveling pet.
No,
I don't
they're
understand. But either way.
Yeah.
But thank
But
you
yeah,
so much, though.
yeah, so I
Dottie.
agree. Brother is the bitch. I think you're right here.
Yeah, brother
We can
is the
forgive
bitch.
grandma, but yeah.
Your grandma at least, yeah.
Yeah, it ain't grandma right now. Grandma's just.
Grandma tried to make
grandma.
amends, and I love that she's like, I'm sorry I'm being such a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm being a geriatric. She's like, please don't call who's the bitch and ask them about me.
Please, I'm not the bitch. And today, Grandma, you weren't, but doesn't mean that tomorrow you won't be.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Dottie. We love you, Dottie. Have a great day.
All right, let's go to our next call.
Oh my God, right, Katie Kate? I'm loving this gossip. We're living for the gossip. And again, you can call in and share your own gossip, bit.ly/LPN hotline. Get in line, give us a call.
It does not matter how minute. It doesn't matter. It can be the littlest problem.
Nah, is it pissing you off? Let's scream about it. Now,
Or it could be huge.
we got somebody on the call, so we can't wait to hear from you. Who's calling in?
This is Barry Dingle.
Barry.
Ooh, Barry Dingle. All
Hello.
right. Hey, Barry Dingle. I'm trying not to be weirdly seduced by your name, Barry. But, you know, I will leave that at the door. We're ready for your problem.
The name dates back to the Adult Swim live stream where I first discovered last podcast. Back in the day.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway,
Historic
I
name.
thought you were going to talk about like a dingleberry or something like that. I was like, this one time, man, I had a big old nuggo. I'm sorry. Yeah, Barry does have a great voice. I don't really play video games. Please, what's your problem?
Okay, so I actually wrote into someplace underneath about these guys a while back, but my cousins have gone off the deep end since 2016.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And I'm their only family in the state here, and they just had their first kid. So I get to be kooky, liberal, weird uncle.
Oh, God.
And as they go further and further off the deep end politically, it's kind of hard for me to be there.
Yeah.
But I want to be there for the kid. So I'm on the fence. I don't know whether I can do holidays anymore,
Yeah.
but I'm like afraid to not see the kid.
I get that. Now,
So,
is
like,
this
if
the kind-
I show up for, like,
please continue.
I'm sorry, say again?
No, is this the kind of thing that is coming up because of this week and because of everything that's going on? Like, is it the kind of thing that you think would ease out after the election happens?
They've been so crazy for so long now.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain lifestyle decisions they've made that they can't really just turn around on right now.
Yeah.
And basically the question is here, okay, I was raised in like cult adjacent fundamentalist community. I had a cool liberal auntie who would like sprinkle little nuggets of secular humanism. And that was really valuable for me. I'd love to be that weird
Yeah.
uncle for this kid. But nearly every time I go up there, we have like a blow up fight. I'm the only family they have in the state to see how things are degrading. Am I evil if I only go up there for like 4 hours on Christmas Eve or something? Like, I think I got that in me. I need to get out before the alcohol starts really flowing.
Completely understandable.
Like, is it, the kid's not going to understand though, right? Like, when I bail, like, the kid's going to freak out.
How old is the kid?
How do I, the kid is 5.
5. Okay. So he really wants
yeah.
he really wants some Uncle Christmas time.
Yeah.
Can I ask this?
Yeah.
And I don't know the logistics because I don't know, like, is there a possibility of when you see them on Christmas, you go for a couple hours on Christmas Eve, then you stay at like a hotel or an Airbnb or some place
Don't
cheap
stay with
nearby? You don't stay there, so you get a little bit of separation. Then maybe you go over in the morning and get to do the joy of the Santa Claus stuff with him, and like so that he's like got you in his brain for that kind of stuff. And then you take off like before, you know, the QAnon afternoon
Or maybe
riots
not
start.
on the actual day. Maybe it is something where you go and you have a full like uncle, kid day where you guys go do something like a fun memory that is outside of the actual days of the holidays, so you can protect yourself, because you also have to create your boundaries and make sure that you are doing well also and taking care of yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. So I will say that maybe there are other ways that you can connect with the kid that like would also mean so much to them while not putting you through the stress and strain of having to fight with your family. Like, maybe you take them to like, here there's places like Descanso Gardens where they've got like lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, is that, I know that they live far away, but you're in the same state. Would that be something that you would be down to do?
Or would they let you do that? Because I would find sometimes people that have these really extreme views are like, we're not going to let the kid go spend the whole day with his wacko liberal uncle or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think that's on the table for them, but the Airbnb idea is actually, that's very timely, because they are now caring for a sick relative, so they don't even have a room to offer me.
Okay.
Which is kind of advantageous. I mean, it's sad. The relative situation is sad, but
yes,
at least they don't have a room to offer, so I don't have to go through the rigmarole of turning it down.
And you can kind of be there, but have a little bit of separation in your own space. Because, like, it's the marathon of time with our families that makes it so unbearable. It's like if you can go spend a few hours, even with non, like, alt-right, like family members, it's like, if you could just take a
pressure of the holiday.
Yeah.
It is how much pressure is put onto a couple of days out of the year. And so you're already entering into a situation on the defensive, ready for a very stressful situation, which is not going to help. Certainly not going to help the kid in like during the holiday. That's for sure. So I would say that like definitely stay in the kid's life. It is worth it. for that, because as the kid gets older, there will be more instances where you can have some time, hopefully, that will be separate, where you can get to know, and that the kid can get to know you as well, and being a part of their life. And also, like you said, someone to talk to when, you know, you have a family that maybe you don't agree with, or you don't know that, like, there is a world outside of Fox News that a kid doesn't know.
Like me and my siblings, like we just do not talk politics with our parents because of how divisive the whole thing has been. It sounds like you guys always get in a blow up fight. Are you guys are you like engaging in politics talk, or maybe is there? I'm asking, is there a, not that I haven't done it myself, I'm not blaming you, but like, is there a way that you could just, when they start that stuff, you could just go, okay, and then just like shut off, like move on, start talking about the weather, like just don't engage in any political convos?
I try.
Yeah.
In my 20s, I'm 40 now. In my 20s, I was definitely the angry liberal ruining Thanksgiving. So I try not to be that person anymore. But
I
very
flipped the
quickly,
table on
they know
Christmas
who I
Eve.
am. They know my views. They know who I keep company with.
Right.
And
So
very quickly, they want to play prod the liberal.
yeah, it sucks because it's like you're their only family and they're needling you, you know?
Is this something that you have had a separate conversation? I know that you've gotten
Yeah.
into fights with them about it, but have you ever explicitly said, I want to be in your child's life, and you are making it difficult for me to be in your child's life? If you said that to them, do you think that they would be like, then don't?
You know, I've never said it out loud now that I think about it. And it's probably occurred to them. I do think they know that I basically come up there to see the kid. Like, and that I probably wouldn't come up there if it weren't for the kid.
Maybe it's time that they found that out.
So, yeah.
And I know that it's not, believe me, I know it's not an easy
Yeah.
conversation.
Well, I mean, you don't have to, and you don't have to explicitly say, I only come here for your son.
Right.
Like you can say, I really want to be in your son's life. I want to support you guys. We're the only family that we each other have in the state, but it makes it really difficult when you guys come at me all the time like this. I wish we could just keep politics off the table. I think that's very, very appropriate. And if that's not going to be possible, I don't know. It's like, I also don't want your nephew to start thinking, oh, my uncle's always fighting with my parents, because,
But
you know,
Right.
as someone that
That's
has
what I'm scared of. That
Yeah.
I become like this
Like-
person who shows up and destroys the event.
I think you should say to them, I don't feel comfortable arguing in front of your kid. If you, I want to come and spend holidays with you and spend time with you guys. I do not want little Johnny to see me and you guys arguing. So if you want to argue about politics, it's got to be after he goes to bed. But joke's on them, you're going back to your Airbnb.
Yeah, you won't be there. And I think that, like, creating those, like, rather than the boundary of, I will not talk to you anymore, it is what boundaries will work for you and will work for your family. And it sounds like creating more boundaries just with them and saying, like, I think that's very smart too, of yeah, we'll talk about this later, but you're not gonna. You don't need to. You know you're not going
Let's
to
put a
agree.
pin
It's
in
not
that.
like you're going to all of a
Right.
sudden get along with any of these political arguments. So I really, I thank you for calling in, because this is it's a timely, touchy situation that I think a lot of us are going through, specifically with this election. Or you may have done this the last 4 years and the
And the
last 4
years
years
before that. Yeah.
which I think a lot of us have. And I think we're all at a point where I'm just like, I can't respect your viewpoint right now. And I feel that way about a lot of people. And I know that we try to not say that here, and we try to see the good in people, but especially during the holidays, during an election year, it needs to be taken off the table. If we're gonna make it through the rest of this year.
But we had another listener write us an email saying, yeah, like, am I the bitch for not wanting to go home for the holidays when my relatives just make, you know, shitty comments about the LGBTQ community and this and that? It's like, No, I mean, if you don't want to, the kid makes it more challenging, and I get that, and I want that for you, and I want that for him. I really want you guys to have each other, you and the little guy.
Yeah, because don't give up on the kid either, because it is worth whatever you have to go through as someone that is very close with my niece.
Yeah.
And it took us years to get this close, but she did grow up, and I was able to create a relationship with her separate from my family. And there is always that, like, you have to remember too.
Were there stressful moments where?
Oh yes, many.
Were there stressful moments where the kid did not understand?
Yes. And
that's what I'm scared of.
But, you know, with family, and it's not always the case, I did wait enough time that it did work out for us, and I was kind of a vilified person for years, and I stuck with it because I didn't want to lose her. And I was like, I can lose the fucking rest of them, but I didn't want to lose her. And I made it very clear that I was having this relationship with her, that I would Zoom with her. I will jump on a FaceTime with her, and we will sit and we will talk about stuff. And it took many years to get there, but we did. And you being a presence in the kid's life.
That's really encouraging.
It matters. You being a presence in the kid's life matters.
And if there is an awkward moment where you feel they're baiting you, they're trying to get you into a fight, I think it's okay to go outside, go to another room, like pull it together. Because I know how infuriating it can be, especially with people that you feel like are just, like you said, off the deep end, like they're on another planet. Take a minute, step back, you know, whatever. And then somebody had suggested here, like, you know, I'm sorry, Mad Knox, I think it's a gnocchi reference perhaps, is like, could you offer to take the kid to a zoo or a museum or a park as like a favor so that parents get a break around the holidays? I get that they might not let you do like a full day excursion with him, but if you're like, once you're there, if things are going okay, like, hey, would it be okay if I saw this cool park? Do you think I can take him down there for a little bit so you can get like a little bit of one-on-one time that doesn't involve the stress of being around the parents as well? And maybe start like that. Then I feel like once the kid is telling his parents how much they like, I don't know, I can't tell if that's gonna like set them off, and they're gonna say, oh, now he's brainwashing our kid because he's a liberal pedophile cuck or whatever they say. I also
think that there is their only way to know is to try. And I think that, you know, rather than just assuming that they're not going to let you do it, it is continuing to ask that question of like, hey, we really want to go to the playground. Can we run to, you know, when you're in town? Of like,
if you guys need some time to do, I don't know if you're talking about Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. If you guys need some time to do gift wrapping, I can take little Bobby. I've already changed his name twice. We could take little Bobby down to the playground. If you guys need some time to baste that turkey, I could take him over to the museum. I heard it's really cool. You know, like just ways to make yourself like useful, quote unquote, to them, so that it doesn't feel like. But I love where your heart is. I really do. I think your heart is in such a good place.
You're a good person, and don't forget that. I do love Jerk McJerk that said, but worry about it more when they're older. My kids don't remember the house we lived in at 5. The kid has time to grow too.
Yeah.
And remembering that not all kids, in fact, I was raised in a very conservative household, and I learned a lot of how I didn't want to be and what I didn't want to grow up as. But I also have now watched my parents change their viewpoints as well in a way that I never expected to happen. So
quit bragging.
Yeah, we whittled those two down, baby. Whittling them down. It's all we can really hope for, honestly, in this year of 2024. But I want to say thank you so much for calling in. And I want to say, I think that your family, they're being the bitch.
Yeah.
You are certainly not being the bitch in this scenario.
But I think it's interesting that you acknowledge that maybe you in your 20s was the bitch. You were like a liberal, trying to like, and I was like that. I would
was
like
an
try to
asshole.
argue with my dad and storm out of a restaurant, and now it's just like no talkie,
Well, I
no
get
talkie
you.
politics.
I mean, the Christmas, the year that Jackie knocked over the Christmas Eve, like I knocked a bunch of shit off the table. I must have been 20 years old, and I think it was about gay marriage.
Oh,
and I fucking slammed a bunch of shit off the table.
If you haven't
I
flipped a
lost
table
my
for gay
mind.
marriage, are you an ally? Or can you
I
call
don't
yourself
know.
an ally?
I don't know if you can call yourself
I don't
an
think
ally.
so.
But don't worry, does my mother still bring up the Christmas that Jackie ruined Christmas Eve? Yes, she does.
How the Jack killed Christmas. I
Does
love it.
Jackie go home for Christmas anymore? No.
No, she doesn't.
Proud of you.
Because to be honest, LA is great at Christmas. That's my ad. All right. Thank you so much for calling, Barry. Follow up and let us know how it goes.
Yes, please. And also,
Thank
we
you.
support you.
We support you.
Thank you. This is so
got
helpful.
this. Hell yes. Thank you so much for calling in.
I appreciate you.
We love you, dude. Have a good holiday. God, I'm already saying have a good holiday. What? I don't even know. I was in therapy earlier today and I was just like, where did the month of October go? But here's the thing. I guess everybody that's old says that when they're
Yeah. October's crazy. It's always so busy.
goes so fast and I've just been only doing insane things.
And watching horror movies.
Get your calls in bit.ly/LPN hotline. We would love to hear from you. Get your calls in. Get your calls
It can be something that's bothering you right now. It can be something
that bothered
you 5 years ago. We don't give a shit.
we wanna
Call
hear
us and
about
ask
it.
us. All right, we're going to read an email right now
Yes.
from one of our listeners who writes in, it's a timely Halloween. Spooky, scary skeleton.
Oh God! Oh God! They're alive.
Do you think these two skeletons want to fuck each other?
I don't know. Why don't you let them meet in the middle and find out? I guess they're gonna fuck in your mouth, dude.
They can't. They're gonna
Sorry.
fuck in my mouth. Meet me in the mouth. All right. This is a Halloween costume.
I
Halloween.
didn't really play video games. Thank you. They should bone. That really is what we should have said.
When the chat is better than us.
Than the host. Fine.
Okay, hello, ladies. A few years ago, my boyfriend came over on Halloween to go trick-or-treating with me, my neighbor, and her 7-year-old daughter. My boyfriend didn't have a costume because he has never celebrated Halloween before. He was born and raised in Pakistan. So, my neighbor's daughter
Oh my
dressed...
God, that must have been so fun. So for someone that honestly, over the weekend, I will say I went to a haunt with someone who had never been to a haunt before, and I got so excited for them because I was just like, oh my God, seeing a haunt through your eyes. How do you feel? Are you scared? Are you pissing? And I did ask them if they were pissing at least 5 or 6 times, and they weren't.
They weren't pissing.
No.
No. Okay. I'm coming with you next year, by the way. Please. All right. So she says, so my neighbor's daughter dressed him up as an old lady. We went trick-or-treating around the neighborhood and had a great time. My boyfriend and I had plans to go downtown for adult Halloween after. I'm a big Halloween person. And I was so excited that he had a costume to wear now for his first time going downtown for Halloween. However, he told me he was not going downtown dressed up like the old woman because in his culture, it is unacceptable for men to be seen wearing women's clothing in public. He offered to change into regular clothes and still go downtown with me, but he refused to be in the old lady costume and stated that he only agreed to walk around the neighborhood in the costume because of the neighbor's kid. I got very upset with him and ended up getting into a huge blowout fight with him. I ended up going out downtown without him, and then not even 2 weeks later, we broke up. Am I the bitch for not respecting his cultural differences when it comes to Halloween and trying to force him out wearing the old lady costume? Let me know. And that's a longtime LPN listener.
Oh my God, I've got so many questions.
That's an interesting one, huh?
Right? Mega Meg says that's tough because it's cultural and ingrained in him. So, all right, my first question for this person would be, did you know that when he put the costume on originally? I feel like if I had known that previously, I'd be like that it is a part of his culture that he is not to wear women's clothing, that I would have asked multiple more questions before he put on the old lady costume, right? But you're right, though. Majestic Ayla, getting past cultural/religious trauma is so hard, and I do wonder, is this something that they had discussed? Is it something that he really didn't think about it until he had the costume on? I'm asking these questions because as someone that loves Halloween and as someone that used to be a drunk, I could see myself getting mad about this situation and being wrong.
It sounds like also she wouldn't have cared if he hadn't already been wearing it around. So does your culture say no cross-dressing, or does it say cross-dressing's okay if there's a little kid that you're helping feel
Also,
good?
Red Age, you're right. Or
You know,
even
like,
if he just
if
doesn't feel
that's-
comfortable wearing women's clothing, maybe he just doesn't want to. There doesn't need to be a religious or cultural reason. You're so completely right.
Sure.
I think I would be way more focused on the fact of like, but it's Halloween. Put on a scarf and then all of a sudden, oops, I hope your head doesn't fall off. Like in my brain.
Yeah.
I just want the season to be celebrated. I don't give a fuck how you celebrate it. Just celebrate it. So that's why I'm trying to be the devil's advocate, because I could see popping off in a situation like this and again, being wrong.
But it's like the cultural thing is like he knew that downtown he'd be around other grown men, and what are they thinking about him? And is this sending a message that I am, that I cross dress, that I'm gay, that anything else? Like, I mean, like people saying that's all very ingrained in people's culture. So I know when people are saying, oh, he can wear what he wants. He was wearing it earlier and sounds like he was having a ball. He didn't want to go down and be downtown and now be with adults in a situation that says, I love wearing this kind of thing. This is the kind of thing I'm into. So that's fine. That's his choice. And I agree. I could have absolutely been the drunk girlfriend going, just wear it. You said you were going to wear it. I want you to have a fun first Halloween. It's Halloween.
But again, I know that I would be incorrect, and I appreciate the fact that, like Lyra Cupcake, it seems like a dick move to get in a huge argument over it.
Yeah, like I'd maybe push it a little and then go, okay, you're not
don't wear a
comfortable.
costume. Now, me at 37, I'd be like, oh, okay, don't wear a costume.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're just going to go downtown. It doesn't matter. But that's why I'm trying to see this situation from a different perspective of a time when maybe I wouldn't be as accepting, and not even about their culture. It would be more about the fact that you just had it on.
Yeah, the chat is all over on this one too. Like, it's like some people think that maybe she is a little bit of a bitch. Some people think that this is bitchless crime because it was like a misunderstanding.
Hilarious is also with,
and then somebody said that he's the bitch because he was wearing it earlier and now he's changing his mind. So
it's his first Halloween. He may not have the context that she has. And there's also that.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, I wouldn't even be thinking about the fact that it was his first Halloween and that this is something that, like, maybe he didn't even think about it.
Right.
I do think I'm going to say bitchless crime for this one. I'm going to say bitchless crime because it doesn't seem like, and again, maybe I'm putting this on the situation. It seems like it may have been I've had a couple of drinks.
And let's be honest.
I've been doing this all night.
Let's be honest. They broke up 2 weeks later, and it wasn't over an old lady costume.
They
so
broke up 2 weeks
there were
later.
maybe some other underlying problems. Maybe we thought the relationship wasn't going anywhere, but
Communication issues, yes. I do think that this should have been a much bigger conversation. It should not have been an argument. This should have been discussed previously. And if it wasn't able to be discussed previously, you should not get into a fight in front of a bunch of everybody else on a holiday. You just say, hey.
yeah, you guys should have planned some, like, he's Wolverine and you're Ant-Man or whatever. Are they the ones that are friends? No, I don't know. Deadpool, that's right. Okay. Well, we appreciate you writing in and, especially a spooky season edition.
We love.
Sorry it didn't work out.
Yeah, nobody's the witch in this situation, and we appreciate you.
Let's
writing
throw to a call. We got
We
someone
got a
on
call.
the line.
Let's
What is
see
that?
who's on the
Is that a phone
line.
ringing? Do I hear the landline ringing? Somebody get it. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Hello. Let's see.
Ooh, I love
Can you?
So I'm Becky, and
Hi,
I was
Becky.
actually featured on y'all's first episode.
Ooh.
And I'm the one whose best friend went and saw my my birth family.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Becky,
Tell us
I'm so glad you
everything.
called back. Called in.
Yes.
The first time you called, it was a voicemail.
Mondays are wild, so yeah.
We're so happy to hear from you. Okay. Do you have an update?
Yeah, do you have an update of what ended up happening? And so, if for those of you that don't remember, if you could give us, Becky, a quick little like TLDR.
Yeah. Okay, so by the time I called y'all, she had technically moved out. Try to get myself in the camera for you. So she had moved out, and by then I'd already, gotten with the girlfriends and been like, okay, yeah, I'm not crazy. So I had just gotten home late, saw your post about your new show, and was like, oh, this is a juicy bit. And so, yeah, so I had my honeymoon planned for the time that she went. And I guess at one point she had asked me about going on the trip with her because she's on this brigade to see all the national parks. And so I was like, no, our honeymoon's around then. Well, I got in a car accident, totaled my car. Plans had to change. I postponed it a year. Was never brought up again. I hadn't thought about it again until suddenly a month before, she's like, hey, your birth mother is asking, if you're going to come and stuff. And I was like, well, that's not you inviting me, And then every week she asked or brought it up one time. And the third time, I was just like, okay, well, she hasn't talked to me about anything. You haven't talked to me about anything. I can't just drop $600+ and take a week off of work.
Yeah.
Now a month or a week out, right? And so I brought that up and we had a blow up. And I was just like, I know what's bothering me. It's this. And so she goes on the trip. She comes back, like, we don't text at all. I take care of her dog and everything. We're roommates at the time. And she comes back from the trip and we just don't talk. And we just start living around each other.
But you're still living together.
In the house. And, And so, she Venmo'd me. It was probably about 3 weeks later. She Venmo'd me money to do her dog's toenails. I'm a dog groomer. She Venmo'd
I was
me
about to
money
be like,
to do
why?
her dog's toenails.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it just said her dog's nails. And
Okay.
like I said, she's never paid me before or anything. And I just, I returned the money and said, no thanks.
Good for you.
And so, thank you. The next day, I just get, so you're not going to do his nails. And
Yeah,
that's when I
bitch.
was just like, well, considering you didn't ask and we haven't talked, like all this stuff. And so it was probably like, because she was just like, I'm just trying to be an adult and just pay my bills and just blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, thanks for making this easy,
So,
and just cut off. And then about, go ahead.
no, are you guys still living
Okay, so like
together?
a month later, my husband goes to, yeah, so the lease isn't up until November. By this point, we're looking around June. And then, so 2 months go by, we just kind of live around each other. And then my husband goes to do the lawn one day and the lawnmower's missing. And he's like, hey, where's this at? And she just is like, I got rid of it, which it was hers.
But you're not
And
gonna.
he was just like, okay. So then we have to just go get a fucking lawnmower. And then by the time he walks from her office back to our bedroom, we get a text, hey, I'm moving out this weekend. I'll still pay my rent till the end of the lease, but I'm moving out.
Okay,
I
this
know.
is wild.
And so the last 3 months, I've just been like, Jesus, please pay your rent. Please. And she did. I knew she's an adult. She was going to pay her rent. And she did. But Jesus Christ. Yeah. And my girlfriends, I actually just saw them this weekend for a Halloween thing. And, they kind of told me a little bit more because I'm not trying to put any of them in the super middle. And they've all just been like, yeah, no, we it's always negative. She's a complete narcissist. I've come to realize that I've been blinded because of my mother. And so I surrounded myself by a few of them. But she was one of them. And they were just like, yeah, some of the stuff she said and this and that. I'm like, what? Who is this person? Like, I'm just so confused. Like, it's a completely different person than I've known since fucking kindergarten, guys.
You've known her since kindergarten.
Yeah, we became friends at 15.
Oh my God, we were just talking
Yeah.
about this on a
Small town, small school.
So wait,
That's insane.
can I just ask, like, when you guys had a blow up fight about it, like, what is her reason for
Anything.
going to visit your birth mother without you?
It's just a trip to the national parks.
No, it's not.
There's no
bitch.
emotional connection for her.
That's. But they
Bye,
met
bitch.
up. She saw her. It wasn't like just her going to Yosemite or whatever the fuck. Like, she met up with your birth mother.
She stayed with them. She took off work so that she could take her around and yeah. And she doesn't seem to see the problem. I know. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That is so, that
And
is
so,
absolutely narcissistic, wild behavior. She's trying to center herself in the narrative of this like story that she finds interesting, like you reconnecting with your birth mom. And she's trying to become the star of this fucking show.
I can definitely see that now.
I
invited my girlfriends over because I was like, I need to ask them in person. And so one of them zoomed in and the other one was in person. I was like, hey, so this trip she's on, did she tell you where she was going and like who she was staying with? And they said, no, just where she was going. And I was like, okay.
Oh, she
So this is who
carefully
she's staying
omitted
with.
those facts
And
from the
their
rest of the group.
faces- Yeah. Yeah. And when she texted one of the other friends, and I told her about it. She was like, oh, that's who the lady is. And I was like, what? And she showed me the text and she said, the lady I'm staying with. Like, there was never details. It was always the lady. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Like,
She knew she was wrong.
Yeah, like,
what the
She
fuck?
knew she was wrong.
at best, she's using your birth mother for a free place to stay. That's at best. At worst, she has bad intentions and is trying to weasel her way into this relationship or this story. Either way, I don't like it.
No, and she's definitely the bitch. That's for damn sure.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice.
Yeah.
Becky, I'm so glad you called us back. How are you feeling? Are you going to still try to like move forward in a relationship with your mom, but tell your mom like, I'm no longer friends with this person? And I mean to say birth mom.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, so I did reach out probably about 2 weeks after because I was like, well, we're still not talking. Oh, it was after the blow up with her dog. And I was like, okay, well, so I texted my mother-in-law and then my birth mother, and I was just like, hey, we're just not really talking anymore. I'd appreciate it if y'all do have conversations, just keep me out of it and stuff. And they were both just like, oh, I'm sorry, and we really don't. And then the birth mother was just like, she mentioned that they really don't talk that much and stuff, and it was generally about the trip. And then it was a little bit later than that, like a few months later, and she invited me out by myself and stuff. And then I actually went out at the end of September
Okay.
Yeah.
by myself for 5 days.
Good for you.
And that was just really great. It was really awesome. It worked out really well. And then there was 3 children around, so they were a great distraction whenever there was downtime.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
yeah, for
helped
sure.
with any quiet times. But
And
yeah,
that's how
it
the
was- it
first,
was really
that's how the
good, and
trip
we
should have
talked a lot.
been.
But yeah, they
Like, she should not have jumped in there with her,
Yeah,
her
the
own little
first time.
trip.
Yeah.
Also, bottles to the ground.
no
You're
ma-
right.
And like you said, like at best case scenario, she just used them, which
Yeah.
that's definitely part of her MO.
Because now they're not even talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this bitch can fuck right off. You do not need to continue a relationship. Not that I'm even saying that you're asking about it, but I would not continue a relationship with this person. And good for you that they're not living with you anymore. Because, man, I have had roommates when it is a bad situation, and I'm just saying she paid. She paid through the rest of, and I say, good fucking riddance.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, bitch. Becky, thank you so much for calling back with more info. And we're
you.
so
We
glad that
love
you went
you.
and had a
Thank
great
you.
time with your birth mom. That's
Yes.
awesome.
I'm so happy for you.
Best case scenario, you got rid of the
Absolutely.
narcissist. You're connecting with your birth mom, and you got moving on, and you can cut some other dog's nails because she can just fucking get out of here.
Fuck right off.
Just fuck right off.
So
Thank
much,
you.
Becky.
I think we can probably do one more,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, we can jump
Yeah.
in one
Yeah.
more. We got one
Thanks.
more. Let's jump in one more call.
love y'all.
Beep 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 boop beep.
Bam, 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 bing, bang, bing, bing, bing. Happy birthday, bitch. I know, a Lyra cupcake. We need a bye, bitch graphic.
Oh yeah, bye
might need a
bitch.
bye
Get out of
bitch
my life. Well, so many
graphic.
people write us about cutting people off that we do need a bye bitch.
Yeah, just to get him out of
We
here.
need like a bye bitch or like a keep them around. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Or yeah, keep them swimming. Keep them swimming or a bye bitch. Sometimes, you know what? Again, it's good to have a bitch in your life every once in a while. Sometimes you need a Kara in your life when I go, hey, I'm terrified of talking to this person. How do I talk to this person? I'm really bad at confronting anybody.
Confronting.
I'm really bad at it, so I can talk a big game about confronting people, but it takes me a really long time. But we got to do it eventually. Are we gonna jump into? Yes,
There we
got-
go.
Oh, there,
Beep, boop, beep,
there
boop.
we go, babe.
Squealy beep. Ooh.
Hi, I love your hat.
Hello, spooky.
Spooky, scary.
I like your
skeletons.
pumpkin.
Oh my god, I love the everything about you and your entire situation. What's your name? Who's the bitch in your situation? Let's find out.
My name's sorry, delays there. My name's Nettie Tangles.
Hi, Daddy Dago.
Might have met you once or twice.
Wonderful member of our chat.
Okay, great.
All right. So we've got to circle back a little bit. I'm sorry, my computer is really lagging, so I'm going to do my best to just spew it out and then let you guys come back in with some info.
We're ready.
I'm kind of piggybacking off of another caller earlier. I've got a situation with my brother and my mom and trying to keep a nephew in my life and don't know the best way to do it. So ultimately, where I'm at is after a long string of health issues with my mom, who I've taken care of extensively when she was in the hospital and didn't get really any support from my brother. He has now had a beautiful little dude, little child, lovely, like maybe 6 months old, tops. He hasn't really exhibited any behavior that is going to show me that he is helping with my mom or the inevitable, aging of someone and what you're going to have to do to take care of that. So to do what I can, I kind of put the kibosh on being around my brother. So I've sacrificed these first few months of watching this kid grow. I know it's weighing on my mom. I don't really know how to navigate this relationship, nor do I know if the boundary I set is making me the bitch or if I'm just being proactive in, again, just something that I'm not really going to get much out of, but I care about having a relationship with this beautiful little dude who has shown up, 6 months ago. But
Yeah.
again, there's been nothing from my brother. Like, I'm talking about like being in the ICU with my mom, trying to navigate my work relationship and all of this and just being like, can you show up? Can you do anything? He never did.
What does he say? Does he just say, I've got a kid, I'm too
like I
busy?
said, Yeah. And before he had the kid, it was, I'm about to have a kid, I'm too busy. We both work from home. We both
Yeah.
have pretty cushy jobs. I've been able to navigate that. I can log out for a bit, drive to the hospital, bring my computer, handle my shit. handle my stuff.
You can say shit.
Oh,
Get through it.
Shit it out.
So I've been able to navigate this while traveling like across the country for jobs and what I'm doing, and everything has been a no, but I can't. And it's just like, it's not going well. Mom's going to have a point where you're going to regret not spending this time with her. So in order to avoid half of this on my side, I kind of just had to put the kibosh on being with him, being around him. It's not working. The holidays are coming. I don't know if navigating that is going to be easy. I can tell it's weighing on my mom, like I said. So am I the bitch for just telling my brother to figure it out?
No.
At the expense of my mom's happiness.
Have you tried talking to your brother and saying, look, I want to be part of your kid's life and this is hurting mom? And he's like, just doesn't care, or what? Or you just haven't brought it up?
Oh, no, I definitely brought it up. And at one point I asked him like, hey, I'm on the road this week. I'm in New York. I'm not home. I'm across the country. Can you throw down, $50, $100 to have someone help take care of her? Oh, I really can't. It's just a kid. I'm like, well, if you can't throw down $50, can you go drive and see her? Can you spend time with her? So yeah, it's been breached, probably aggressively on my end.
Yeah.
Not very nicely.
I get that. Bottles to the ground
But
also says,
it's definitely been brought up.
as a younger sibling who had to tell my brother to call my mom to see how she was doing after her breast cancer surgery, I sympathize with this a lot. It's not random. There's likely a very long history of the brother being unreliable. Is that the case? Like, did this start way before all of these issues?
Not unreliable, but I would say spoiled.
Yeah. Is he older than you or younger?
Catered to, and now the first time. Yeah, older.
Older.
What about,
Yeah, he's a big kid.
does he have a partner?
I'm assuming
Yep.
he
Married,
had the baby,
just
right?
had the kid, so that's the
Yeah.
other weird variable. Yep.
Is this something that, so if it, not the fact that he's been unreliable in the past, were you guys close to an extent at any point? Like, is there anything that, like, have you guys usually been more separated as a brother and sister? Or is this kind of like more, are you more surprised by this happening?
Oh, not surprised at all. We were close as in we grew up doing theater together, but we're like 6 years apart. So there's a little bit of time and space between there, but like we grew up close enough to where this behavior is not a surprise. It's more frustrating, and more frustrating.
That's so frustrating, especially with an ailing parent when you have a limited amount of time. And there's just something about, and I am new to this experience of having older parents. I know not everybody is used to it. Some people have experienced it in their past.
Yeah.
Some people, I am currently going through this, and I understand where you're coming from. And it's so weird already to be starting to become the parent for your parents, on top of the fact that I feel like when you start becoming a parent for, or like a figure like that of taking care of a parent and how much it falls on you, that is your brother aware, even though I know he just had a kid, I know that there is a newborn in the house, 6-month-old, and I know that that's not easy. Is there any place that you can talk to him about what it is doing to you? And do you think that that would be an area that maybe he would want to help you with?
That's definitely not an area he wants to help with. I honestly think going to his wife might be the better bet at this point. I don't think he and I have a relationship we can figure out. But I do care about having a relationship with that kid, and I do care about my mom being supported in the best way. And like, I kind of think he's a lost cause, but I think maybe going to his wife.
Yeah. Delighting Gale Plays in the chat is asking, is the brother denying mom time with the grandbaby over this? Like, does your mom get to see her grandson?
Yes, but she usually is the one who has to make the drive, and it's like a 2-hour drive. So he has not made the effort
Jeez
to
Louise,
make that
bro.
easy for her. But yeah. So it's very much like it's 100% on his terms, which is why again I was like, I have to hard stop this relationship. I know the holidays are coming. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate that, but like it's a hard stop with this guy because go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I hear what you're saying with the hard stop, and I wouldn't get too stressed about the nephew situation of it all because, yes, you might be missing like some little milestones here and there, but I do think you will have a relationship with your nephew. Like that life is long. He's so young right now.
More about your
I
mom.
know that for me, it's like more about the mom issue that you're just straight up taking it all on, and he's just saying, nope. I feel like going to his wife and maybe saying, is there anything that, like, I don't know, what can we do to get him engaged on this? Like, he's going to regret this when she's no longer with us, you know? Like, coming into it from a place of not necessarily
that's one
like,
thing I've
I
been
need
saying.
more help and we need X, Y, and Z, and more, we're doing this for, because he seems like somebody who kind of puts himself in the center of things. So if you maybe face it towards him, like, you will be regretful of this. Like, you're missing out on an opportunity for you, and this will be bad for you later. Maybe if you make him the sort of hero of his own story, you can get through to him. I don't know. That really sucks, and that sucks for you that he's just like, oh, little sis is going to take care of everything.
Dude, you just saying make him the hero of his own story really made a lot click. Honestly, that's kind of exactly how we're going to have to kind of go about it. And yeah, just taking that separation and again, making it about my mom. One of the things I said to him, like in two of our little like fire off arguments is I said, no one wished they spent more time on a Zoom meeting. Like, again, we both have cushy jobs, but no one wished they've ever spent more time on a Zoom meeting. And, you know, second of all, at some point you're going to wish you had these moments back. Dude, just don't regret it. Be there for her. Because that's exactly what's going on.
Definitely talk to his wife.
Yeah, you're totally right about the kid too.
And talk to his wife because
that's the move.
And not that like I feel like you should always go to the partner when you can't get through to the one, you go to the other one. But I feel like in a scenario of, I'm trying to put myself in your sister-in-law's shoes of, I had a kid 6 months ago and my mother-in-law is ailing and I'd like for the mother-in-law to have a relationship with my kid before anything could possibly happen. And maybe this is something you could genuinely have a good connective conversation with your sister-in-law where you're just like hey, I'd love to like talk on the phone and I'd love to just talk some stuff out. I don't know if you have that relationship with her, but sometimes putting in the perspective, I imagine, I've never been a new mother myself, but I would assume if I had just had a kid, I imagine it's all up in her brain space of like, think about your partner's mother and what has gone through.
Or like, I don't know what it looks like logistically. I don't have any sense of how far you all live from each other, but like, hey, I would love to, I know mom's been really wanting to see you. Maybe there's a way I can come down and watch little Benny. That's a new baby's name I've made up. I can come down and watch little Roger while you and wife go have like a little weekend away. I mean, I don't know if there's like a breastfeeding thing here. Like, again, I don't know the logistics, but like I could come down and watch the kids so that you could have a little bit of time with mom so that it's like more maybe like a concentrated weekend and they have a little bit more time together and he feels like, oh, I'm also getting a little bit of babysitting, so it's worth my while. I hate to say that you have to keep offering fucking carrots to this guy like a racehorse, but that's seems like what's going on.
But I really appreciate you calling.
Yeah, dude, 100% carrots to a racehorse. And
keep going,
please. Yeah,
go ahead, Jackie.
No, I want to hear you. I need to hear you. What are you
saying?
saying?
100% carrots to a racehorse. It's 100% carrots to a racehorse, but it totally makes sense. And I do have the relationship enough with his wife to where before they had the kid, I literally said my brother and I are like oil and water. So I feel like reaching back out at this point and kind of doing that circle around makes sense. And then again, I'm driving it home to him to be like, hey, I hope your kid doesn't treat you like you treat mom. And
Yeah.
then if that's like a big flare up, I'm just like, oh, maybe check out how you treat mom. Did you take that as an insult or a compliment? Because if someone said that to me,
Dude.
I hope you treat you like, you treat your kid like I treat mom, I would be like, compliment.
Fuck yes.
But he might take that as an insult. So like, I just kind of want to like turn that inside, but I do have that option to reach out to her. But again, it's carrots for this guy. I'm just trying to lead him to somewhere where
It's just like I'm also trying to think about the kind of guy that won't even throw $50 at the problem. It's like, yeah, if you're not gonna like see your mom, you can't throw a little bit of money at the problem. And it's like, oh, I got a kid. It's like getting help for your mom versus what, like a new stuffed animal for the kid. I mean, like the baby probably has what it needs. Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed in the complete lack of help.
Yeah.
Dude, 100%. And like, again, he is financially a stable person. He is fine. So like that, just like the barrage of excuses that came up after that was just like, no. And that's when I kind of like put the hard tie and I was like, no, I think there's a way we can kind of navigate this, but I just definitely feel like a big old bitch for making my mom feel the stress. And I feel confident in what I'm doing, but just don't know how to navigate anything at this point.
You are not the bitch.
Your brother is the bitch in this scenario, and you are doing everything you can. He's the bitch. You are doing everything you can to make this go as seamlessly as possible. He's the bitch, and you
can tell him we said so.
Please tell him that we said so. And thank you so much, Nettie Tangles, for calling in. I want an update if there is end up being an update. If you end up talking to his wife, I would love to hear from it because we're only sending you good vibes.
And I'm sure you and your nephew are going to have a great relationship. Like this is like one mountain at a time. I think work on what's going on with your mom right now. And then
your mom takes precedence.
Goodbye, skeleton pumpkin.
Also love this jack-o'-lantern skeleton.
We love him.
One, and I'd like one, please.
Thank you, Nettie.
Thank you, Nettie.
Oh my God, thank you everybody who called in. So much family strife, the holidays, the election, it's all happening.
Only gonna have more before the end of this year. And thank you guys so much for hanging out during our live stream. We love talking to you live, and we are going to be back in 2 weeks live.
And let me please say thank you for the subs. Winter V Cubed, JD Panda, Red Age Prop, M83 Lewis, Thomas, the Twerk Engine, Abatron 3000. I don't really play video games, and Bottles to the Ground. Thank you guys so much. This is new for me, all the subbing, and I just feel a lot of love coming through whenever there's a sub.
Doing a great job, Kara.
Thank you guys so much. We've got new episodes. This is a podcast every Wednesday. Subscribe to that as well, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, November 11th for the next
November
one.
11th, we will be back, but check out our episodes every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Who'sthebitch.com. Send in your problems, your questions, your advice needs. We love you. We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
More feet in 2 weeks.
Oh, God, more feet.
Bye.